Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing something I've never done before on my channel. I'm going to be giving y'all a review of all the recent books I've read. I truly go through phases when it comes to reading. Sometimes I can't put a book down. Other times I won't even want to read. I'm the kind of person that I don't enjoy reading just because if I start reading a book that I really like, I will never put it down. I will literally stare at it for days and days until I finish that book. I get like this with like movies and TV shows. I just feel like there's so much more I could be doing with that time. But recently I hopped back on the reading train and I thought it'd be fun if I shared the recent books I've read with y'all and kind of rated them for you. I read a lot of romance novels. I'm currently right now reading a murder mystery and I don't know if I'm like telling myself I'm not going to enjoy it because it's not a romance novel, but I'm kind of struggling to get into it. So I always read romance novels, so that's what these books are. I have 4 books that I'm going to be ranking and telling y'all about. So if you aren't already, be sure you are subscribed down below and enjoy the video. Up first we have Slow Burn. I read this a while ago. I'll read the back of these books so y'all kind of know what they're about. It says, "One night, that's all it was supposed to be. Reeling from the sudden loss of her sister, Hattie Montgomery has sworn off relationships. All she wanted from Beckett Daniels was a sexy distraction to help her escape her pain for just a little while. There weren't supposed to be any strings attached, so why can't she shake the memory of that unforgettable night from her thoughts, or the taste of his kiss from her lips? No matter how hard Hattie tries to forget about him, Beck relentlessly tries to prove that she should start living for today, but she is determined to avoid romantic commitment, and she can always use her ex-boyfriend's reappearance to help snuff out the slow burn within her that Beck has sparked. Or will fate force her to realize that this kind of connection doesn't come along very often, and a chance at love is worth the risk?" So on Goodreads, this book has a 4.29 star rating out of 5. I personally gave it a 3. I really enjoyed the beginning half of the book. I love the idea of a slow burn. That's literally what the title is. I just love stories like that. I really liked the first half, but then towards the end I kind of struggled with wanting to finish it. Like I had to like force myself to finish it. It was more about like a health issue, which of course that's an important topic to talk about, but that's just not what I thought this book was going to be about. So maybe that's why I'm only giving it 3 stars. But yeah, I don't know if I'll reread this. The next book, we have A Bend in the Road by Nicholas Sparks. Everyone knows who Nicholas Sparks is. He's the author who got me into reading, honestly. I actually have 2 of his books that I'm going to be talking about in this video. The summary of this book says, Miles Ryan's life seemed to end the day his wife was killed in a hit-and-run accident 2 years ago. Missy had been his first love, and Miles fervently believes she will be his last. As a deputy sheriff in the North Carolina town of New Bern, Miles Ryan not only grieves for Missy, but longs to bring the unknown driver to justice. Then Miles meets Sarah Andrews, the 2nd grade teacher of his son, Jonah. Sarah had left Baltimore after a difficult divorce to start over in the gentler surroundings of New Bern. Perhaps it is her own emotional wounds that make her sensitive to the hurt she first sees in Jonah's eyes and then his father's. Tentatively, Sarah and Miles reach out to each other. Soon they are both laughing for the first time in years and falling in love. Neither will be able to guess how closely linked they are to a shocking secret, one that will force them to question everything they ever believed in, and make a heartbreaking choice that will change their lives forever. In A Bend in the Road, Nicholas Sparks writes with a luminous intensity about life's bitter turns and uncomparable sweetness. His affirming message carries a powerful lesson about the imperfections of being human, the mistakes we all make, and the joy that comes when we give ourselves to love. I really like this book. Not surprised because I do really like Nicholas Sparks, as basic as that is. On Goodreads, this is ranked 4 stars out of 5, and I actually gave it 5 stars. I really liked basically everything about this book. The crazy secret that they have to deal with is very crazy, and the whole time I'm like trying to figure out who they're talking about, or I don't want to spoil it for you, but the whole time you're like trying to guess who this person is, and then once you find out who it is, you're like, holy cow. But it's definitely a good book that I really recommend reading. I may read it for a second time. That's how good it is. Next book is another Nicholas Sparks book. It is The Rescue. In the face of raging fires or deadly accidents, volunteer fireman Taylor McAden feels compelled to take terrifying risks to save lives. But there is one leap of faith Taylor can't bring himself to make. He can't fall in love. For all his adult years, Taylor has sought out women who need to be rescued. Women he leaves as soon as their crisis is over and the relationship starts to become truly intimate. When a raging storm hits his small southern town, single mother Denise Holton's car skids off the road. The young mom is with her 4-year-old son, Kyle, a boy with severe learning disabilities and for whom she has sacrificed everything. Taylor McAden finds her unconscious and bleeding, but does not find Kyle. The chilling truth becomes clear to both of them when Denise wakes. Kyle is gone. During their search for Kyle, the connection between Taylor and Denise becomes impossible to ignore, and Taylor soon learns that his rescue will be different from all the others. So the back of the book really just talks about the entire first part of the book. As soon as you start reading, that's when the accident happens, and then a bunch of stuff happens after. This book is also ranked 4 stars on Goodreads. I ranked it 3. I did think it was a good story. I really sympathized with the mom for having a child with disabilities, and I liked how Nicholas Sparks like incorporated that into the story, and how he talked about all the things that his mom had to do differently with him than other moms would do to their kids who don't have a disability. Not spoiling anything, but of course Taylor and Denise fall in love, and it's really nice to see the relationship that Taylor builds with the son Kyle. Taylor is a firefighter, so Nicholas Sparks does take you along some of his other rescues, not just the first one in the beginning. I thought some of it kind of dragged on, and I think I kind of skimmed through some of it, but I may one day give it a second shot. And the last book, It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I literally finished this in 2 days. I almost made a whole video just talking about this book, but this book is incredible. The back of it says, Lily hasn't always had it easy, but that's never stopped her from working hard for the life she wants. She's come a long way from the small town in Maine where she grew up. She graduated from college, moved to Boston, and started her own business. So when she feels a spark with a gorgeous neurosurgeon named Kyle Kincaid, everything in Lily's life suddenly seems almost too good to be true. Ryle is assertive, stubborn, maybe even a little arrogant. He's also sensitive and brilliant and has a total soft spot for Lily, but his complete aversion to relationships is disturbing. As questions about her new relationships overwhelm her, so do thoughts of Atlas Corrigan, her first love and a link to the past she left behind. He was her kindred spirit, her protector. When Atlas suddenly reappears, everything Lily has built with Ryle is threatened. With this bold and deeply personal novel, Colleen Hoover delivers a heart-wrenching story that breaks exciting new ground for her as a writer. Combining a captivating romance with a cast of all too human characters, It Ends With Us is an unforgettable tale of love that comes at the ultimate price. Honestly, I feel like this book should have had a trigger warning. On Goodreads, this almost has a 5-star rating. I personally gave it a 5-star rating. I also wrote a review. What I said was, I went into this book knowing nothing about it other than it was a romance novel, and wow, I unexpectedly got so much out of it. I started the book and immediately couldn't put it down. It says every person with a heartbeat should read this book on the cover for a reason. The way Colleen Hoover uses inspiration from what her mother went through is heartbreaking yet so real and happens more often than people realize. And then I said, should have a trigger warning in the beginning. Like I said in that review, I had no idea what I was getting into. I actually found this book at a thrift store and remembered seeing it from somewhere else, and I'm so glad I picked it up. Like I said, couldn't put it down, literally finished it in 2 days. The whole time you're relating to the main character and feeling the feelings that she's feeling and being confused with her, and you're feeling bad for this one character who you know you shouldn't feel bad for, but you do, and then you're also feeling for this character, and it's wow, you need to read it. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be reading this book again. So yeah, that was my first ever book video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you've read one of these books before or they interest you, definitely let me know in the comments. Also, if you have any book recommendations, definitely let me know. I'm so down for trying new books. I really like the romance novels, but I am trying to branch out to other things. If you did enjoy this video, be sure you give it a thumbs up and you're subscribed down below. Thank you so much for watching.